Welcome back, everyone. We're here with ATX VGC Monday Night Friendlies. My name is Gemma, and tonight we're going to be featuring three best of threes on our channel, like we do every Monday night. And I'm joined by my lovely co-host. Y'all want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Nibs Plays Games. I guess I'll start off. How are you guys tonight?
I'm Rollercoaster, and I did not sleep any last night, so I'm hanging by a thread right now, team.
We hope that we can get you some coffee before like last week.
Well, I'm Chase, or Tiki VGC, and I'm excited for tonight.
Yeah, super exciting. So this is also our affiliate celebration stream. We figured out the last step this afternoon. It was dumb, and I just didn't. I put an abbreviation for street on an address, and that held us up by 2.5 weeks. But we're here, we have it, we're super excited. So I want to first off go ahead and say thank you to all of the people who have subscribed. We have got Nibs Plays Games, thanks for subbing Nibs, Tiki VGC, Maggie M with the Prime subscription, and then we got a couple others coming in. It looks like Woke Flossie coming through with a Prime subscription as well. Thank you so much for that, Amy. She launched a firework emote in the channel.
This
is awesome.
That's so
really
cool.
Yeah.
This is incredible. I'm super excited. So thanks everyone for all the support. Tonight we only have 3 battles. We had one person that had to drop kind of last minute, but we are still gonna have 3 super exciting battles. We're gonna have 1 best of 3 that is Series 6, followed by 2 best of 3s that are Series 5. So in our first game, we're going to have our very own Nibs playing against Adam Santacos. In the second matchup, we are going to have Sir Wilson taking on a new battler tonight in Guzman 24. And then in the final game of the night, we're going to have Charisma versus Tigers. I know that's a rematch, but super excited to see how that plays out again. I think last time it was Series 6, so this should be a Series 5 battle. So really excited to go ahead and get started. If y'all give us just 1 sec, we're going to switch all of our cameras around and make sure that we get everything, and we'll get rolling with the first best of 3. Alright, we're back with the game 2. We're just going to work on getting the video feed from
In the
Sir
meantime,
Wilson. Oh, there it is.
I was going to say, in the meantime, I will tell my story of my first shiny. My first game was Emerald, and very sadly and very unfortunately, my first shiny was a shiny Magikarp. So then when I evolved it into my shiny Gyarados, I was like, oh guys, all my friends, look, I have a shiny Gyarados. And then I was like, well, everyone has a shiny Gyarados because everyone played Gold, Silver, and Crystal.
That's true. That was technically my first shiny. I was going with my first wild encounter. That's a rough one to have. You should have left it as a Magikarp just to say, look, I caught it as a Magikarp.
And fun fact, I was not looking for it. I found it in Sutopolis, an Emerald. And the worst part is, my second ever shiny was also a Magikarp, which I found fishing in the resort area in Platinum. So my first 2 shinies were both Magikarps.
That's pretty funny. So it looks like we've got our next battlers getting ready. It looks like Sir Wilson is searching. I'm going to double check in Discord that Will, if you're still watching right now, have y'all chatted about the code and everything? Because I didn't see the discussion go on in the Discord, so I just want to make sure that Guzman 24 saw it. Y'all have not chatted yet. Okay.
Oh. Well, we might be in for a little bit of a wait real quick.
Yeah. Messaged him, but no reply. Let's see here. So sorry about this. We usually have... Okay, I see he's playing another game. It might be 1 sec. Do you want to talk real quick about your Eevee hour on Thursday nights? I don't know, is that going to happen this Thursday with Players Cup 2, or are we going to...
Yeah. So because there is the Players Cup qualification this week, I will have to not be having it on this Thursday, but hopefully starting next week. I know we were out last week because I had 2 tests last week, and I had a review during like that Thursday, and there was also the Temporal VGC tour during that time. We didn't have it, and this week it's another just an actual official tournament, so we will be postponing it. I I could potentially do it on a Sunday. Like after after the Players Cup qualification is done, people can talk about the teams that they tried to qualify with, how they finished, what they would change, things like that, or we can just have it next Thursday again.
Yeah.
But I would prefer to do it sometime. I would prefer to do Series 6 teams again after this, because the RVGC Reddit tour is going to be on October 3rd and 4th. The qualifications have been every single Friday and Sunday to auto qualify for day 2. It's not anything that we're part of the organization of, but I know Aaron Traylor has been very adamant on trying to make it a big thing, and anything that he does I trust, because I have seen all of the work he's been putting in just by seeing the RVGC tour on Reddit and all the stuff he's done behind the scenes. So I would recommend everybody go play in that if you can. I know Rollercoaster is saying we have the Texas VGC tour every Wednesday. I believe it starts at 5:30. That will be on cart. Everybody can play. You can sign up in Discord. The Battlefy just got put down here. Also, I don't have a link to the Texas VGC Discord, but I believe there will be one on the Battlefy. If not, we can also drop a link to that.
Yeah,
and we have it in our Discord as well.
Yeah, I don't have that one offhand. So we did confirm we have our battlers. They're just right now getting together and linking up with the code. So should be having our second battle here momentarily. So Nibs just dropped the Discord. This is the Discord for the Texas VGC. This is for the tournament that Nibs is actually on the committee for. And Texas obviously being, we are in Texas and we compete in those. So we love that one. We know we had a bunch of people from our Discord go ahead and participate in that last week. I think we had some folks have some pretty good success. Chase U Top Cut, I know. Roller Coaster Top Cut, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe Tigers and Banditti also top cut.
Yeah, Tigers and Banditti also did top cut. And we'll be seeing Tigers here in Game 3,
So yeah, that was a really fun tour to be a part of. My one gripe is that resistance does play a factor in whether or not you top cut. There were a lot of 3-2s and only about half of them top cut, which is kind of annoying.
3-2 here, reporting for with my 2 losses being to top cut. My wins weren't as quality when I look back. That was one thing that I was struggling for. I had a drop on one of the wins, and then I got paired down one round, so that definitely hurt my ability. So here we go. We have our trainers. They are all matched up, ready to play. We've got Will versus Guzman 24.
Yeah, I want to see. I'm interested. Is Series 5 as well for this one? Or?
This is Series 5. Looks like they're going to have to go for... Will doesn't have the rules. So we're going to go with... I believe it'll be normal rules, which as long as they both agree to only use Series 5 legal Pokemon.
And let's see. Oh, Team Yell Captain. I disagree. Marnie 2 is the only acceptable answer for the best music.
I see you two are a person of class. Marnie 2 is my all-time favorite song on this one.
Yeah, I like Gym Leader a little bit, but Marnie 2 is definitely my go-to.
Yeah.
So.
We were just chatting real quick about rules, and it looks like they're all linked up. We're about to see team preview. Here we go. Sorry about the delay, everyone. Adam Santaco's also saying Gym Leader being a good one.
Yeah, no, those are the 2 best. Adam has very good taste in theme music. So, well, we see a beat up team here with also Triple Starter and Grimmsnarl.
Yeah.
This is like, it's setup and it's airstreams and it's tailwind offense and it's just everything all in one team. And we're seeing just a very standard Lapras, very similar to Fevzi's team, a little bit of updates with the Ferrothorn in there, but you have like the weather control, the Trick Room option, things of that sort. You just don't have the Conkeldurr anymore. So we see a very defensive team versus just about as offensive as you can get in Series 5.
Yeah, very, very aggressive. It's interesting to see the Blastoise. I know that a lot of people have used that Gmax Blastoise at a couple different points. We're still waiting on it to get its big tournament win, like several of the other busted Gmax move Pokemon. But the other thing that's interesting about Sir Wilson's team is it almost looks like a mashup of Series 5 and Series 6, with like staples of both, with Terrakion as well as Grimmsnarl, while there's also a Whimsicott Cinderace core.
I believe that Gmax Blastoise won either a Singapore or Korean major online tournament.
Okay, so I stand
and it was that very common Blastoise, Indeedee, Dragalge, Rillaboom, Dusclops, and Cinnamoroar, I think was the last on that team. But it was all over the Showdown ladder for like 6 weeks or so. And yeah, I mean, like that team was very popular. I have a very terrible record against it. I can never beat it. But I think it was a very interesting team, and I liked. I believe it was created by an Asian player. I can't remember exactly where they were from.
Yeah. So here, turn one, we see right off the bat a switch out of that Togekiss, being afraid of the best Steel type in the format in Cinderace. Probably the second best. Sam did make resurgence enough with the Excadrill, so and Intimidate now being down on that Cinderace, it's going to drop it to -1 on its attack. Probably a good call not to Dynamax it, unless that is an incredibly slow Cinderace and a very fast Lapras.
Do we have? I don't remember if we saw, but we don't have to worry about a trick eject button here, do we, with the Grimmsnarl?
I don't recall exactly. I know that it is light screen. We see the Libero activate. It goes ahead and changes its type to Steel, just going for the Iron Head instead of a G-Max Steel Spike. So here the Max Resonance into the Grimmsnarl. I'm going to go ahead and set up the screens for Guzman 24, and that is not doing a ton of damage, but really what Lapras is here to do is set up those screens like we saw in the last set.
Yeah, and we didn't see a Life Orb, and based on the composition of this team, I would guess it's Light Clay.
Yeah.
And it kind of, maybe not with the Ferrothorn, but it does feel like it has that end game of Perish Song, get 2 KOs in Perish Song, just because it's a very defensive team. So that would be something that Will has to be accounting for whenever he's playing. Don't let this Lapras get like a Gimp KO onto your Score Bunny or onto, well, maybe we might see that here.
Oh, change its type to Fire. It's going to go for just a Pyro Ball into that Lapras. Gets the burn, interestingly. That's not, or sorry, was that wasn't Fire, that wasn't Flare, that was Flare Ball, that's not Pyro Ball, wasn't
I believe it was Pyro Ball.
Okay, sorry.
You're good.
And we just see a one-hit KO from that G-Max Resonance.
That was a very good, very safe play, doubling into Cinderace with both Will-O-Wisp and Geyser, knowing that you're either going to burn it or KO it, depending on the type it changes into. And I mean, this is 1 KO down and another one in a Perish Song, and the game might just be over from there.
Yeah, and the residual damage from burn, not really doing a whole lot to that very bulky Pokemon in Lapras. One thing you do have to worry about here is a close combat kind of blowing up that Lapras.
Yeah. So we see this as a weakness policy Terrakion. We also see Sucker Punch on this Grimmsnarl. You could self-Sucker Punch to get the +1.
That's true.
Or you could theoretically self-Spirit Break. I wouldn't recommend it. But I don't think this Lapras gets KO'd by a max... very safe play here.
Yeah, very safe play to go ahead and stall out the last turn. Avoid taking a KO.
Wait, what? Is chat talking about potatoes? What is going on?
Yeah, chat is in a debate about condiments because of Mustard 2, the theme song. Rollercoaster saying Mustard 2 is a great theme, and then there's some hate going towards one of my favorite condiments in ketchup.
I haven't had ketchup since I was 3, so I can't speak on that.
Yeah, well.
I don't know how to explain that, and everybody calls me weird for that. But no, I haven't had ketchup in 18 years.
So we now see that this Dusclops comes out. It does go ahead and frisk the weakness policy on the Terrakion. We see a double switch with Will opting to check out that Grimmsnarl and Dynamax with the Terrakion here.
One thing to note is because one Pokemon has been KO'd, that the beat up will only hit 3 times, and if a Pokemon happens to become burned this turn, burn also invalidates a beat up hit. So if, like, say the Whimsicott gets Will-O-Wisp on this turn, then it'll only be 2 beat up hits each turn.
Interesting. As someone who ran beat up in a major tournament, I probably should have known about the burn. I definitely knew about the less Pokemon.
Yeah.
I was
It's
unaware
all
of the burn.
Pokemon remaining.
All healthy.
So if their status, other than confusion doesn't count for some reason.
Because it's a non-permanent
Yeah.
effect, basically, I think. Yeah, so now
Well-
this Trachion's in a better position. It's Dynamax. It can just KO that Lapras
Mhm.
without having to worry about Hydro Pump or anything else the Lapras might want to do in terms of damage, but also that foregoes the weakness policy. So maybe you think if you can get Sand up, you can live whatever Lapras throws at you, proc that weakness policy, potentially KO the Dusclops.
Yeah. The
But-
issue here is without being able to get to +4 and then +3 with the Intimidate, you won't be able to KO the Dusclops before it gets a Trick Room up if you can't taunt it.
Yeah, so we see here, the Intimidate does go ahead and drop this Tracheon down to -1. Whimsicott goes for the beat up. It's going to get up to +3, but when accounting for the Intimidate, it's only a +2.
Yes. I thought that beat up just did 0 damage and I was very confused.
Yeah, I will say, during my run with beat up Tracheon, I got a lot of crits. Almost all of them were on beat up, and that was, it did 3 damage instead of 1.
Fun fact about beat up, it actually takes the attack stat of each of the healthy remaining Pokemon, and each hit comes from a different attack stat,
Ooh.
in case you did not know.
That's a very unfortunate critical hit. I don't
Yeah,
think that a +2 that would have been knocking out in
No.
any other universe. So, very, very unfortunate for Guzman right there with that critical hit, getting a 1-hit KO onto the Dusclops before it can go for Trick Room.
Yeah, and now Rockfall and Rock Slide should just clean up this game, as we've seen the Arcanine and the Lapras.
Yeah. Yeah, without the ability to cycle Intimidates anymore as well, it's going to be much more difficult. Although there is actually one more Pokemon in the back. We haven't seen the 4th Pokemon.
Togekiss.
Oh, yeah, we have seen the 4th Pokemon. It's Togekiss.
Yeah, so an interesting thing here is, do you Rockfall the Lapras? Or do you, I would assume you Rockfall the Arcanine to avoid a Will-O-Wisp, but there's like a critical hit from Lapras maybe can get a KO, but even that, I think like a Hydro Pump is doing 45 to 50% on this track, yeah.
Like with the Sand up, what I'll say, we saw that this was likely a bulkier variant from the Lapras as well, as opposed to like a Life Orb, Primarina Life Orb, Max Geyser, you can live in the sand. So
Yeah, no. And Max, yeah. This is going to do, what HP stat is it at? I'm going to take a guess here on this Hydro. Well, it might just miss, and then there's no point in me even saying this.
But go
But
ahead
I think
and take a guess.
I'm going to say, I need to see the HP stat. I think it's at 329.
And let's see. Oh, Lapras stopping for
fine.
Freeze Dry onto the Whimsicott.
I was going to say it was going to get, oh, it didn't even KO. That's
Didn't
so sad.
KO, and not even with Sand.
Yeah, see, I just wanted to guess that the Hydro Pump would have done like 70 damage.
Oh, and the light screen.
And there was light screen up. Oh, yeah, that would have done like 40 damage.
Yeah, I would have done almost nothing. So, yeah, Dusclops behind screen. Oh, yeah, and that was also true that Max Resonance was up for that Dusclops. There was no way that this was going to KO without the crit.
And now, beat up Rock Slide just should pick up a double KO.
Yeah. Is this Tracheon already at, it's at what, +4,
+4, I believe. 5? Yeah, 5.
Because it's gotten 2 beat-ups off and been intimidated once. So the Moonblast is going to come out here.
Hey, you never know. It could just like double miss Rock Slide and double die to... Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon.
Yeah, and the double Rock Slide there, enough to go ahead and make up the KO. So Will goes ahead and picks up Game 1 with that critical hit onto that Dusclops being probably the swinging point of that match.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's just nothing you can do there, because that's doing, like, 35% without the critical hit, and it gets the KO with the critical hit.
Yeah, for sure. So, what do you think the adjustment might be from Guzman in this next game?
I have a very strong adjustment. I think don't get crit.
Yeah,
There's your adjustment.
that's a really solid adjustment. Give your Pokemon those extra anti-crit berries ahead of time. Make sure you train them and
just like add a 5th move onto Dusclops, give it skill swap and skill swap the Lapras so you can get Shell Armor Dusclops. Like just like anything, because without the critical hit, that game was Trick Room got up, the Trachyon could never get going, and it probably would have been over. But as we see, Will now is just leading straight with the beat up, maybe hoping that that Guzman doesn't want to lead with the Togekiss. But like something like a Togekiss Dusclops would be very safe lead from Guzman's side.
Yeah, for sure. So we see Woke Fossey in the chat saying, watching this is making me want to play VGC again. Well, we miss you, Amy, and we'd love for you to come back and continue to play on our Monday Night Friendlies.
I miss Series 6 kind of, but like not really. Series 6 is the most hectic metagame of all time, I think.
It's definitely a little hectic. So here we see that the lead that you were talking about with Togekiss and Dusclops. Not a whole lot that Will can do here to stop Trick Room. And
there is something.
Oh, that's true.
There's that 30% chance.
Yeah, the Rock Slide play is one thing you can do. You don't want to rely on it. As someone who's relied on it in the past, where I would Iron Head Rock Slide with T-Tar Excadrill to stop Trick Room. And it worked enough times.
Wait, at that point, why if they just max Darkness? Oh, well, let's see.
Well, it was with redirection on the field.
But yeah, that's where you just go for that double Rock Slide.
Yeah, it was double
You got
Rock
that
Slide turn 1,
chance.
and then Rock Slide Iron Head turn 2.
Yeah. See, you always either get the flinch or you just miss the Dusclops completely. It's like one of the two.
We see a Moonblast come out from that Whimsicott, and it actually gets the special attack drop onto the Togekiss. Togekiss lives on 1, though.
Wow, that's honestly, that's a like very important special attack drop because I would assume Nightshade plus Air Slash would have KO'd the Whimsicott, and now I don't think it does.
Yeah, depending on how this Whimsicott's trained, I think even regardless, a no bulk Whimsicott, if I could speak correctly, would probably still survive that.
Yeah, and Bad is saying in the chat, like, Togekiss not dying is kind of bad. And yeah, I mean, you want your Follow Me plus Trick Room, like, you want that redirection to get KO'd right away, just so you can bring the Sleeper in and not waste your turns. But, oh, this might still KO.
Let's see here. It is still enough to go ahead and pick up the KO despite that special attack drop. We didn't see a crit come out, so possibly a little bit of information about this Togekiss. It could potentially be Serene Grace and just going for flinches, which would definitely be one way of getting around the fact that that special attack drop occurred.
Yeah, this is very interesting because you really don't want to take out this Togekiss if you don't have to, and you just want to waste Trick Room turns. But I mean, it's already a tough position to be in if you're Guzman, because you've wasted 2 Trick Room turns, you've only gotten the KO on the Whimsicott, and if this Terrakion can get onto the field pretty safely with Trick Room not up, then it's probably going to be game over. So you have to find a way to deal enough damage early enough.
Yeah, this Dusclops is going to be a little bit annoying, I think, though, for the remainder of this game. Like, right now, just you don't have redirection anymore on the field, but what is going to be KOing this Dusclops is it tends to go for a second Trick Room potentially later.
Ooh. Or just a Bulldoze Rock Slide, potentially.
Yeah, I think Bulldoze Rock Slide gets a double KO right here.
Yeah, even if Reflect gets set up, like the Grimmsnarl, like it might survive 1 turn, but it's not going to be doing enough in the coming turns too.
That's one way you could potentially have it survive a little bit longer.
Giving it a coaching boost, interesting.
Yeah, so it is going to take the first Rock Slide before the coaching boost occurs in all reality, or in all likelihood.
Yeah. Yeah, and a +2 Rock Slide with Reflect up should probably do around 60%, I would guess.
Putting it in range of a +2 Rock Slide at +1 defense with Reflect. So here we see the Reflect, and we see the Bulldoze come out.
That did more to the Cinderace than I was expecting.
Getting some nice little chip onto that Cinderace. I think after Sand this turn, it's going to drop below 50%, so...
Well, I don't think it's going to be surviving this turn.
That's fair. Potentially on a miss of Rock Slide is one way that it could. And we see no misses with Rock Slide, so...
Rock Slide just Rock Slide just needs to be 100% accurate. Like that 90% is so silly. Like, can Rock have a physical move that's 100% accurate other than a Cell Rock?
Yeah, there really isn't one. Like even like Rock Wrecker, being the Hyper Beam like move.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess all Hyper Beam like moves technically have that.
5%.
Yeah, 5% chance to miss. But yeah, there just isn't a solid physical rock type that has a guaranteed hit that has wide distribution.
Nim says just run Lycanroc, and no. No.
We haven't seen a Lycanroc on our Monday Night Friendlies in the past.
We have. Also, there is a guy who just only runs Lycanroc for all of, like, he's on Showdown. He, like, is in the top 100 pretty much all the time, and all he does is run Lycanroc. And he runs Lycanroc and Tyranitar, and then Beat Up, and then, like, Double Follow Me. It's a very strange team, but he's very good with it.
That is a very strange team. So we see Nibs trying to get some damage off before he goes ahead and goes down here to it's gonna proc the berry.
Yeah, I think it still gets KO'd by a Rock Slide here if that's what.
And does it avoid? Oh, it gets the avoid. So a very key avoid right there. But now this Dusclops being whittled down pretty bad, and I don't think it's in a position to reset Trick Room here.
No. Wait, I think the play might be Dynamaxing Grimmsnarl here. Like, it might be the play. Because if you Dynamax it, you take out the Dusclops, and you can just take out everything else with just normal Terrakion.
Yeah, normal Terrakion just kind of cleans up everything here.
Yeah, I think Dynamaxing, like, as strange as it sounds, Dynamaxing your half HP support Grimmsnarl might be the play. Or just, doubling into the Dusclops and letting the Tyranitar do whatever it wants this turn is also fine.
Yeah, so we see Will's contemplating a lot right here, trying to figure out what he wants to do. It looks like he's opting to Max Knuckle into that Tyranitar.
Huh. I don't know if Spirit Break is enough to KO this Dusclops, and if it gets its second Trick Room up, it's going to be kind of bad news for...
Oh. We actually see a switch out with an Intimidate going down onto this Terrakion.
Interesting.
Do you think this, if there's a max coming from this Tyranitar, this Intimidate might prove pretty important?
Yeah, I mean, it really only matters if the Tyranitar has a ground type move, because an opposing Max Knuckle isn't going to be enough to pick up full HP Terrakion in Dynamax, but it will do like 70% if it does survive here.
Yeah, so let's see what happens. Also, potentially a play like Max Guard or Protect, no Max Guard.
Oh no. Oh no.
That is a gone Tyranitar.
Yeah, that, I guess Will is either predicting the switch out on the Dusclops' end or just perfectly fine with taking the trade Tyranitar for Trick Room going back up.
Yeah.
And it seems to work out really well for him.
Yeah, I would have been really afraid of a Max Guard Trick Room right there.
Yeah, I would have as well, but I mean...
Works out perfectly.
Guzman probably knows if Will predicts that and just doubles the Dusclops, the game is over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and this point, you've got to either Dynamax Dusclops or an Arcanine. When this Arcanine, I think the strongest thing that it can do is probably go for a Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point... Oh.
Are we going to see it?
Does this... I mean, we're going to see Max Guard Trick Room, right? Like...
If we do, then that could be pretty bad.
I mean, you just can't do enough damage fast enough to this Terrakion. Because in order to do damage with Dusclops, you have to... Because I assume this doesn't carry Pain Split, you're going to have to Nightshade and you'll just get Sucker Punched. So, I mean, let's see how this turns out.
Yep. Guzman clearly thinking about this play pretty hard here. We see the Dynamax come out.
It's a Moonball. I don't know what that says.
It could be the Dusclops. Nope. It is the Tyranitar.
Good choice with the Moonball, by the way. The Moonball is the coolest ball in Sword and Shield, I think.
It definitely is. I'm a bit of a snob for the Safari Ball, and have been collecting Pokemon in Heart Gold and Soul Silver through that Safari Zone. So we see this Self-Sucker Punch, the justified damage increase right here. So the max rock ball is gonna do nothing into that max card.
A moonball emote. That would be kind of cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, we
What
gotta
a
start
great
getting
idea.
emotes.
We have the idea for the ATX, like the Marowak hype one, right?
Yeah, I designed that one, but I think we could probably get a better designer than what I did. Emotes are coming soon to all of our subscribers. Thanks again to everyone who has come out and subscribed so far tonight on our first night as affiliate. So here we see Sir Wilson going for the max card.
Ooh, that was a very good play there.
Yeah. Grimsnarl going for the Spirit Break onto the Dusclops.
Not enough.
Yeah, not gonna be enough. So this
Not even enough after sand, I don't think. Oh, well, never mind.
Yeah, and that's a good read there from Guzman. It's gonna bring the Grimsnarl down to 4 HP, and it's gonna change the weather though.
Yeah, I'm not particularly sure why Will felt the need to max guard. I don't think the Tracheon was in that rough of a situation, and a Rockfall probably would have just won the game.
Yeah, so here the Dusclops down, now being down at very low health, the Arcanine being relatively healthy though.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, once this Arcanine is out of Dynamax, like a Flamethrower or a Flare Blitz will not be doing very much damage whatsoever to this Terrakion.
No, it really won't. And it's not, I mean, typically these Arcanines run Snarl as well. Light Screen coming up, just in case it happens to be a special one. We haven't actually seen that revealed just yet. So the Dusclops opting for Pain Split on the Tracheon, going to go ahead and get a whole bunch of health back while dropping Tracheon's health. This Max Darkness here, though, presumably off of Snarl, going to be dropping the special defense of this Terrakion.
That might be useful with a potential Flamethrower later on.
Yeah, so we see... Oh, and that is incredibly unfortunate with the Arcanine dodging the Rock Slide.
Though, to be fair, I believe it just dies. It wouldn't have died to that one and dies to the next one outside of Dynamax.
True, yeah.
So unless it Will-O-Wisps, then it makes a difference.
Yeah, it definitely could make a difference here.
We see Will just going for the Rock Slide, not contemplating protecting to stall out Trick Room turns. Just immediately checking to see how many were left and then clicking Rock Slide.
So here we see the Nightshade.
I think Flamethrower will pick this up.
Yeah, 35 damage. Oh, we just see the Will-O-Wisp.
Ooh.
Let's see. Because one more Nightshade will pick up the KO. Oh, was that a crit on the Arcanine?
I don't...
Yep, it was a crit on the Arcanine.
Makes up for the miss.
Yeah, it definitely makes up for the miss here, but I don't... The fact that the Dusclops did not go down there, the burn chip here, I think, is going to be enough to potentially put this away.
I mean, how many turns of Trick Room are left? Because if this is the last one, then I think Will can win. If not, then it's going to be going to Game 3.
Yeah, so we'll see here. Yeah, that last turn, potentially just a Flamethrower at 35 health would have been enough to pick up the KO rather than the Will-O-Wisp.
Yeah, because it's Flamethrower in the sun. Oh, but Light Screen was up, so maybe not.
Yeah, but it was also at -1.
Yeah, I'm not sure on that one. 25
so
down to
15. And that was the last turn, so I think that... oh, that's a risk.
That's the only thing that KOs, if that even KOs.
It was... Oh, it doesn't KO. Dusclops goes for the Nightshade here. Goes ahead and picks it up. I was thinking perhaps the Earthquake might have still been enough, but after being intimidated, burned, all of those things, that was an incredibly close Game 2 here of set number 2 with Guzman going ahead and taking the win.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Game 3. I think Guzman very easily could have won Game 1 without the crit, and then Will could have very easily won Game 2. So they both won a game, potentially not the games that we would have expected them to win.
Yeah.
But I'm very interested to see how this goes the rest of the way.
Yeah, for sure. So here we have Game 3. Most of the information has been given out at this point. We can presume that Arcanine is probably carrying Snarl based on its Max Darkness. I think we've seen every move from the Grimmsnarl at this point.
Yeah, we've seen both screens, Spirit Break and Sucker Punch.
Yep, so we've seen everything from there. We have seen the Whimsicott not go for taunt in the face of a Dusclops, so I would feel pretty confident if I was Guzman that the Whimsicott is not taunt. So yeah, it looks like Will's opting for kind of a different strategy here than what he's brought thus far.
Yeah, this Blastoise is very strong when it hits things super effectively. Outside of that, it might struggle a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So Nips is pointing out in the chat that we've gone to 6 straight sets going to Game 3 here.
Was it 4 last week?
It was all 4 games last week.
Well, that's at least 7 in a row because we were the last set of the week before, and we went to Game 3.
That's true, yeah. So we were at least 7 Game 3s in a row here. So we see the leads here with the Dusclops and Togekiss, as well as the Whimsicott and Blastoise.
I mean, this seems like a very... Oh, it's not Water Spout. I was going to say a very easy fake tier is Water Spout, but yeah, I think this is going to work out very well for Guzman, just getting the Togekiss KO'd, Trick Room set up, and bringing in the sweeper.
Yep, exactly. And if it's similar to what Guzman's been doing in the past game with having that Tyranitar as the sweeper, you have the ability to immediately change that weather on switch in.
Yeah, and +2 Rockfall will potentially KO the opposing Blastoise. I know Blastoise does have a decently high defense stat, so maybe not.
Yeah.
But like, if you can somehow stall out the Blastoise, you can very easily KO it with a max move when it is not Dynamaxed.
Yeah, this Blastoise is going to be getting up the Cannonade, so that is going to be residual damage throughout the rest of this battle. So we do see the Follow Me come out, back pointing out in chat that perhaps the correct targeting was the Dusclops in case of no Follow Me.
Yeah, I would tend to agree.
Yeah, so now this Togekiss will go down to 1 G-Max Cannonade. And that's actually, I was talking about weather changing, and the weather doesn't even matter because this is a G-Max Blastoise. We had guessed that looking at it, but it's just...
Fantaco says, does G-Max Blastoise have the best... I know Roller Coaster is about to say Centiskorch, but that is incorrect.
Yeah, Centiskorch is definitely Roller Coaster's absolute favorite. So the Cannonade effect here is going to go ahead and chip for 1/16 damage on each Pokemon that's not Water type for the next, 4 to 5 turns? And you actually see Lapras come out here, which could just go for a big helping hand Freeze Dry.
Yeah, or even a Max Lightning potentially. But while we do see what happens, I do want to say, what is the best G-Max animation?
Oh, that's a good question. Honestly, I really like G-Max Finale in terms of G-Max animations. That one being one that doesn't really see a whole lot of play. It would only see play in doubles, but it still doesn't.
I think G-Max Gravitas is a really good one, the Orbital one.
That is a good one.
No, Drum Solo. Nib says Drum Solo, but I just don't like Rillaboom anymore.
Breaking up with Rillaboom.
What's another good one?
G-Max Gengar being thrown out in chat.
Oh yeah, that's also a good one.
Yeah, that is a really good one.
Yeah, I think Orbitals is so good though.
So we see the Dusclops is going to go ahead and get its special defense knocked down here by 2 stages. It looks like Guzman's just going to go ahead and go for the KO on this Whimsicott to avoid any more of this fake tier shenanigans. Willing to trade Dusclops on this turn for that.
Yeah. And I'm not even sure Dusclops will get KO'd here because of the Veil going up. It probably survives barely.
Yeah, if it would survive a neutral max darkness, then this is functionally the same here. So we see, and it does actually still survive.
Yeah, that was, again, I said Blastoise is very strong, and if it's hitting things super effectively, I will adjust that to it's very strong when it's hitting things that are neutral and super, or that are like stab boosted super effective, because yeah, that didn't do very much even at -2 through screens.
Yeah, so here we see Grimmsnarl is going to be the switch in for Will. That Dusclops is in range of 1 more Cannonade, so that's one thing to consider. And that Lapras is now at -1 stage of special defense with the screens up. I guess it's probably Shell Armor, so you don't have to worry about a crit if you're Guzman in this case.
The other thing, the Dusclops, while in range of Cannonade, can just Pain Split it back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's true. Yeah, you can just go ahead and get yourself a whole lot of health back, but you are risking Protector and Max Guard being what chunks you down. So a really defensive switch there from Guzman, switching into his Ferrothorn there, which should eat up a Max Darkness pretty nicely, and a Cannonade even nicer. Interestingly enough, this Max Geyser will boost the Cannonade's damage output, but if it's targeting that Ferrothorn, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah. It is Darkness into Ferrothorn, but again, when it's not hitting things super effectively, that is, it's also a Ferrothorn, to be fair.
It is. Yeah, do you think based on the damage that this is potentially an EV Ferrothorn, or is it hard to tell?
I think based on the Leftovers animation, I think it's a Leftovers Ferrothorn.
And you get the benefit of seeing that after I ask the question as opposed to before.
Yeah, it feels like on this team you need like a late game sweeper, and since you do not have the Kinkelder, like the Iron Defense Body Press Ferrothorn would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, where you Leech Seed, Iron Defense, Body Press, Protect.
Especially because you have the Lapras to set up Rain, so you can just eliminate all of Ferrothorn's weaknesses. Oh, I also didn't realize we were playing on like the normal rules, so we do see nicknames here, which I just noticed about 5 turns in.
Yeah.
Game 30.
Yeah, yeah, we had to do that because Will didn't actually have the Series 5 rules downloaded, which admittedly can be a little bit harder to find. So we see the G-Max Geyser here. I think it's just going to mostly be invalidating that Protect. Oh, and the Grimmsnarl lives on 4 HP. It's going to go ahead and proc that Figgy Berry like we saw in the previous games and get itself back up to about 71 health. The Cannonade will do more chip damage to this Ferrothorn.
Yeah, and the thing is, even though it is doing chip, if this Blastoise is out of the way, and, well, potentially, if the Grimmsnarl is out of the way, then Parasong just wins this game. Because you should be able to get your Dusclops in pretty freely at some point and then get a Pain Split off. But if not, like, even Ferrothorn with a defense boost, like, in the range should be pretty safe.
Yep, and this Ferrothorn is just going to go ahead and opt to heal itself back up with the combination of the Leftovers and the Leech Seed that it just laid down. So the Spirit Break going into Lapras will drop Lapras' special attack by 1 stage. Lapras does connect with the Hydro Pump. I don't think that drop mattered. Well, perhaps it did onto this Grimmsnarl. Yep, it actually did. Right back to the same 4 damage that Max Geyser did in the rain last turn.
So this Blastoise is just setting up a free Shell Smash, which could be an issue this upcoming turn. The one thing is it doesn't have a like super strong like Water Spout like spread move that I can go for, but like even the Hydro Cannon or like Dark Pulse would be pretty strong options.
Yeah, and this Ferrothorn, after the combination of Leftovers and Leech Seed and the expiration of Cannonade, is almost back at full health. With the Protect, it will be.
Yeah, and like at this point, like a double Protect here is like incredibly safe from Guzman's perspective. Especially, I believe we saw in chat that said that Guzman does not run Max Lightning or Thunder on this set.
Gotcha.
So we will not be seeing a Thunder into this Blastoise, most likely, at least.
Yeah, so we see actually a switch out of this Lapras into the Dusclops, maybe trying to get Trick Rooms set up one more time, or just trying to go ahead and sack. Maybe even just reading that Sucker Punch. The Dark Pulse will be enough to KO the Dusclops at +2 behind the screens at almost no health. Ferrothorn's able to get an Iron Defense up, and I don't think that there's a whole lot of special attackers on Sir Wilson's team that can really break through this Ferrothorn.
Yeah. The one special attacker is that Blastoise, and it's already done a max move into this Ferrothorn, and the Ferrothorn's back at full.
Yeah. The only
and honestly,
thing is maybe Dark Pulse.
Ahead.
Dark Pulse flinches.
Yeah, but Dark Pulse is going to be doing about 40%, I would guess.
Yeah.
And like with the combination of Protect and Leech Seed, like you just get back up to full every other turn. So there's not really much at this point that can beat the Ferrothorn. And do we know that what Will's last Pokemon in the back is?
I don't believe I've seen it. I know that he locked in pretty quickly.
thought it was Cinderace, but I'm not 100% sure.
Dark Pulse and this freeze dry here is also going to be doing pretty big damage into
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be enough to just go ahead and pick up the KO with the critical hit, potentially mattering with those screens up. The Spirit Break will come out to drop this Lapras' special attack by 1 stage yet again.
Mm-hmm. And, oh, yeah. At this point, even Cinderace Pyro Ball is going to only be doing, I don't know, 55%.
Yeah, the rain has stopped now, which is important. And the light screen is now worn off from Nibs. From Sir Wilson. Mixing up who is playing with Grimmsnarl tonight. So I think that it's a pretty safe, reading a Protect here from this Ferrothorn. Just to continue to... Or wait, sorry, it's a full.
I think the Lapras is going to Protect.
Yeah, the Lapras.
To try to Leech Seed.
I completely swapped the healths from the two, and I thought, it's gonna need to get, a heal up right here. And I was like, no, it doesn't, it's at full. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, a Protect on the Lapras and, a Leech Seed into the Cinderace is pretty safe. Because you just want that passive recovery.
Yeah, so we see the Sucker Punch come out here into Lapras. And a Pyro Ball as well.
I believe it, also into Lapras.
Yeah, going for the KO on this Lapras, knowing that that's one of the scarier things to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Does this KO Cinderace?
It does not KO Cinderace. The Reflect has now worn off, so...
Oh, so it would have KO'd.
Yeah, it would have been enough damage.
The other funny thing here is that if the Ferrothorn protects, it could potentially, outstall the Cinderace's Pyro Balls. It's not going to end up mattering.
Yeah.
But...
So we see
Pyro Ball... Bye-bye, Grimmsnarl.
Yeah, Grimmsnarl will go ahead and go down to the Iron Barbs here.
So this should just be the last turn then.
Does Pyro Ball make contact?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's a crit. Yeah.
That one really hurts.
That's gotta hurt for Guzman. It's one of the dangers of setup, but that's 2 games that were determined
games
by
1
crit.
and 3.
Yeah, so really well played by our 2 battlers. They played to their outs there. Unfortunate for Guzman with the crits in games 1 and game 3. Rough way to go out, but thanks so much for coming out and being a first-time battler on the stream. Really love to see new people battling, and this is about the point where we go ahead and plug the Discord. If y'all want to battle in these Monday night friendlies, we have these every Monday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. What you have to do for that is you just have to join our Discord, and we have signups that go live every Thursday at 11 a.m. I believe. I'm the one who scheduled the bot to do it, so I should know. But yeah, we have signups that go live every Thursday at 11 a.m. and then those are open all the way until Sunday at 8 p.m. Central as well. It's really fun. Yeah, that was super unlucky. Sorry about that, Guzman. Rough way to go out in your first battle, but do come back. You'll have plenty more chances to battle lots of people here on the Monday Night Friendlies. So yeah, if y'all want to come on out. I'll also, we talked a little bit before the last game about this, but Chase has been doing a team building hour on Thursday nights. We are going to pause that this week for the official competition with Players Cup 2 going on. But after that, keep your eyes peeled in the Discord for more team building hour, EV hour is what we've been calling it, as we optimize EVs for teams.
Yeah, and I will say, we do have subscriptions as an option now. We just reached affiliate, I believe, but I will be saying the things that we are currently doing will stay. Just anyone that wants to join, anyone in the Discord, we will not put behind a paywall, a sub-paywall, or anything like that. Both the EV Hour and the Monday Night Friendlies will continue to be something that everyone can do, because not everyone can afford to give $5 at the current time. But we will try to do our best, and this will be the plug to subscribe, try to do our best to add some things that are subscriber exclusive if we can. We're going to be talking about that over the next couple of days and come up with a couple of things that we can provide just to add on and not take away from the people who are not subscribed.
Yeah, for sure. So with that, we're going to take just a very brief break, and we're going to come back and you'll have Rollercoaster and Nibs taking y'all through game number 3, which will be Charisma versus White Tigers.
Hey, you like that video? We think you should check this out, and YouTube thinks you should check this one out. And be sure to subscribe for more content.